Welcome back to Tune in English. How are you all doing today? We're here to boost your listening and speaking skills with a short, interesting story. Today, I'll tell you about my friend Leo's unforgettable school trip where everything that could go wrong did. His story is packed with useful English phrases. We'll explain them all at the end, so stay tuned. Try repeating after me to practice your pronunciation. If you enjoy learning with us, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Now let's tune in to Leo's crazy adventure.
I was on cloud nine the night before our school trip. My best friend Leo could not stop talking about it. We were finally going to the National History Museum. Our teacher, Mr. Evans, promised us a great day. "This will be a trip to remember," he said with a smile. I packed my bag very carefully that evening. I put in my favorite snacks, a juice box, and my new camera. I wanted to capture every single moment. My mom told me not to count my chickens before they hatch. I just laughed and said, "Nothing can go wrong, Mom." I set my alarm for 6 in the morning. I did not want to be late for the world. I fell asleep dreaming of dinosaur bones and ancient treasures. The next morning, I woke up bright and early. The sun was shining and the birds were singing. It was the perfect day for an adventure. I ate my breakfast quickly and ran to the bus stop. I saw Leo waiting for me there. He was jumping up and down with excitement. "We're really doing this," he yelled. We hopped on the big yellow school bus. We found a great seat right near the front. Our class was all there, buzzing with energy. Mr. Evans did a head count and said, "All right, everyone, settle down." The bus engine roared to life. We were finally on our way. I looked at Leo and said, "This is going to be the best day ever." He agreed completely. The journey was about an hour long. We sang songs and played silly word games. I was having the time of my life. Then, suddenly, the bus made a strange noise. It was a loud, sputtering sound. The bus driver, Frank, frowned. The bus slowed down and then stopped completely. We were on a quiet road with no other cars. Frank turned to Mr. Evans and said, "I'm sorry, it looks like we've broken down." A quiet worry spread through the bus. Mr. Evans tried to stay calm. "Don't worry, class, everything is under control," he said. But we all knew this was a big problem. Leo looked at me, his excitement gone. "What are we gonna do now?" he whispered. We waited for 15 long minutes. Frank was on his phone trying to get help. Mr. Evans told us jokes to keep our spirits up. It was not really working. I started to think my mom was right. I had counted my chickens before they hatched. Our perfect trip was going up in smoke. Just then, another school bus drove by. It was from a different school. Their bus driver saw us and pulled over. Frank talked to the other driver for a minute. Then he came back with a big smile. "Good news," Frank announced. "They have extra space. They can give us a lift." We all cheered loudly. We piled into the new bus. We were back on track. Leo high-fived me. "I told you it would work out," he said. I felt so relieved. We were going to make it to the museum after all. Our adventure was just getting started. We finally arrived at the huge Grand Museum. I stared up at the giant stone pillars. "We're here," Leo shouted, and we all spilled out of the bus. Mr. Evans gathered us together. "All right, everyone, listen up," he said. "This place is enormous. I need you to stick together like glue, no wandering off." We all nodded seriously. I made sure my camera was ready. We walked through the big rotating doors into the main hall. My jaw dropped. It was incredible. A gigantic dinosaur skeleton hung from the ceiling. I felt so small standing underneath it. Leo was as excited as a kid in a candy store. He pointed at everything. "Look at that and that," he said. We followed our guide, a friendly woman named Maria. She told us amazing facts about the exhibits. I took pictures of everything. We saw ancient Egyptian mummies and shiny gemstones. Then we entered a dark room filled with glowing rocks. The colors were beautiful.
I was trying to get the perfect photo. Leo tapped my shoulder. "Hey, look at this giant diamond," he said. I turned to take a picture of it. When I turned back, Leo was gone. The group had moved on. I was all alone in the dark room. My heart started to beat very fast. This was not good. I walked quickly into the next bright hallway. I could not see Mr. Evans or anyone from my class. It was just crowds of strangers. I felt a wave of panic. I was in a panic. I had really messed up. I told myself to keep my cool. I remembered Mr. Evans' words about staying calm. I decided to go back to the big main hall with the dinosaur. That was our meeting point. I started walking, trying to retrace my steps. Every hallway looked the same. I passed the same mummy case 3 times. I was going in circles. I was starting to feel very scared. I saw a security guard and almost asked for help. But then I thought, no, I can do this. I took a deep breath and kept walking. Finally, I saw the giant dinosaur bones in the distance. I ran toward them, feeling hopeful. But when I got there, the hall was empty. My class wasn't there. I felt so alone. I sat down on a bench, trying not to cry. I was down in the dumps. My amazing trip was ruined. Just then, I heard a familiar voice. "There you are!" It was Leo. He was running toward me with Mr. Evans. I jumped up from the bench. I was so happy to see them. "We've been looking everywhere for you," Leo said. Mr. Evans didn't look angry. He looked relieved. "I'm just glad you're safe," he said. "You did the right thing coming back here." Leo explained they noticed I was missing right away. They had been searching for me for 10 minutes. I apologized for not paying attention. "It's okay," Mr. Evans said. "These things happen. Now let's get a move on. We have more to see." He handed me a bright red map. "So you don't get lost again," he said with a smile. I felt much better. I learned my lesson. From that moment on, I stayed right next to Leo. I wouldn't leave his side for anything in the world.
We stuck together for the rest of the trip. I held on to my camera and my map tightly. We saw amazing things like a butterfly garden and a space rocket. I was having a blast, but I was also more careful. I didn't want any more surprises. Leo and I made a promise to always check for each other. "I'll watch your back and you watch mine," he said. I agreed completely. It was almost time to leave. We had one last stop, the gift shop. Mr. Evans gave us 20 minutes to look around. "Don't go crazy in there," he joked. Leo and I walked in together. The shop was full of wonderful things. I wanted to buy a souvenir to remember this crazy day. I found a perfect postcard with a dinosaur on it. Then I saw a beautiful shiny rock in a glass case. I leaned in to look at the price. It was very expensive. I turned to ask Leo what he thought. My heart suddenly stopped. My camera was gone. It wasn't in my hand. It wasn't around my neck. I felt pure fear. "Leo, my camera!" I shouted. He looked at my empty hands. His eyes got very wide. "Oh no," he whispered. We had butterflies in our stomachs. We searched high and low around the gift shop. We looked on all the shelves and under the racks. It was nowhere. I felt terrible. I had lost it again. All our pictures from the trip were on that camera. I wanted to cry. This was the worst end to a crazy day. My shoulders slumped. I was ready to throw in the towel. I started to walk toward Mr. Evans to tell him. Just then, a woman tapped me on the shoulder. She was holding my camera. "Is this yours, sweetie?" she asked kindly. "I found it by the dinosaur postcards." I was so surprised and relieved. "Yes, thank you so much," I said. I couldn't thank her enough. She smiled and walked away. I held my camera close. I learned a very important lesson about paying attention. We got back on the bus for the ride home. I was exhausted but happy. I looked through all the photos with Leo. We laughed at our silly faces in some pictures. The bus ride home was much quieter. Most of my classmates were asleep. I looked out the window at the passing trees. I thought about everything that happened.
Our trip was full of problems. We broke down and I got lost, and I almost lost my camera. But it was still an amazing adventure. Mr. Evans was right. It was a trip to remember. I realized that sometimes the best stories come from messy days. When I got home, my mom asked, "So, how was your perfect trip?" I laughed. "It was crazy, Mom," I said. "You were right. I never should have counted my chickens before they hatched, but it was still the best day." Sometimes things don't go according to plan, but if you look on the bright side, you can still have a wonderful time, and you might just learn something new.
Phrase 1. On cloud 9. Meaning, this means you are extremely happy, feeling pure joy. Story example. I was on cloud 9 the night before our school trip. Extra example sentence. She was on cloud 9 after she passed her difficult driving test. Phrase 2. Count my chickens before they hatch. Meaning, this means to be so confident about a future success that you act like it has already happened, which can be risky. Story example. My mom told me not to count my chickens before they hatch. Extra example sentence. I know you think you'll get the job, but don't count your chickens before they hatch. Phrase 3. For the world. This is used for strong emphasis, to mean for anything or under any circumstances. We often use it in the negative way. Story example. I did not want to be late for the world. Extra example sentence. I wouldn't miss your birthday party for the world. Phrase 4. Bright and early. Meaning, this means very early in the morning, often with a positive feeling of being ready for the day. Story example. The next morning, I woke up bright and early. Extra example sentence. We have to leave bright and early tomorrow to beat the traffic. Phrase 5. Hopped on. This is a casual, friendly way to say got on or boarded a vehicle. Story example. We hopped on the big yellow school bus. Extra example sentence. Let's hop on the next train. This one is too crowded. Phrase 6. Settle down. This is a phrase used to tell people to become calm, quiet, or orderly. Story example. Mr. Evans did a head count and said, "All right, everyone, settle down." Extra example sentence. Kids, please settle down and listen to the story. Phrase 7. On our way. Meaning, this means that you have started your journey to a destination. Story example. The bus engine roared to life. We were finally on our way. Extra example sentence. Text me when you're on your way to my house. Phrase 8. Having the time of my life. This means you are enjoying yourself immensely. You are having a fantastic, wonderful time. Story example. I was having the time of my life. Extra example sentence. At the concert last night, I was having the time of my life. Phrase 9. Broken down. This is what we say when a vehicle or machine stops working completely. Story example. Frank turned to Mr. Evans and said, "I'm sorry, it looks like we've broken down." Extra example sentence. My old car broke down on the highway yesterday. Phrase 10. Under control. This means that a situation is being managed effectively and is not chaotic. Story example. Mr. Evans tried to stay calm. "Don't worry, class. Everything is under control," he said. Extra example sentence. Don't panic about the project. The manager has it under control. Phrase 11. Piled into. This means a group of people entered a vehicle or room quickly and in a somewhat disorganized way. Story example. We piled into the new bus. Extra example sentence. After the game, all the fans piled into the subway cars. Phrase 12. Back on track. This means to be progressing correctly again after a delay or a problem. Story example. We were back on track. Extra example sentence. I fixed my computer, so now my work is back on track. And that's it for today. You learned so many fantastic phrases. I know you can use them in your own conversations. To help you practice anytime, you can download the full story and all the phrase examples as a free PDF from the link in the description below. If you enjoyed this lesson, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Tune in English for more. I'd love to know which phrase was your favorite. Tell me in the comments. We upload new videos every week to help you on your English journey. Keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next video.